After discussing asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, now we are in dhyana prakarana. We saw that there are two types of dhyana, popularly what we call as Shaguna Brahma Upasana, called Dhyanam, Nirguna Brahma Nididhyasanam. But he put it differently, called as Shakalam and Niskalam Iti. And if you are spending time with you, fantastic. If you are not spending time with you, also equally fantastic. However, he comes up with new tricks and technique. So when you do dhyanam, here learning to gaze at your tip of the nose. So that means that keeping eyes half open, withdrawing your mind because of dharana, or you can say the influence of dharana. Now the person starts dwelling upon each chakra that we have seen, starting with Adhara, then comes Swadhisthana, then comes Manipura. So these three chakras that we have discussed in details. And there, while discussing verse number 65 regarding Manipuraka chakra, so there we discussed also details that how this Manipuraka chakra is always connected to Aditya, the Surya, especially Aruna. That's why he put it Tarunaditya 66. Tarunaditya Sankase Chakre cha Manipurake Nasagra Dushtiratmanam Dhyatva Sanksho Bhayet Jagat Iti. So here very nice concept that one is supposed to dwell upon Aruna, Taruna Aditya iti. And when you look at especially this rising sun, and that too focusing on the solar orb, and what you see, what you feel, because already we have discussed there is Anubhava and Anubhuta. These two words I used very carefully. So that's why Aparakshanubhuti, Anubhuti, not Anubhava. So Anubhava means experience connected to your subjectivity. In fact, it is your own reflection. Whereas Anubhuta is connected to the object. So you can say subjective experience, objective experience, if you want to use very carefully, but technically not right. However, so here very nicely that one need to look at. Here when you do this Aditya Dhyanam in Manipuraka chakra, that's why a person is supposed to spend some time with Aditya. Without spending time with Aditya, if you want to do, it is not going to work either. And of course, that person's energy will be entirely different. Continuing. Hrudaya akashe sthitam sambho prachanda ravitejasam नासाग्रे दृष्टिमाधाय Dhyatva brahmamayo bhaved. So here he says, goes one step ahead. After this, so when you come to, especially Hrudayakasha, means Anahata Chakra. So in Anahata Chakra, so here is being said, Shambhum Dhyana is required. So when we say Shambhu Dhyana, actually we do look at very nicely how all these things to be done. That's why the stories that we hear in Puranas, that helps a lot. For example, this Tiruvannamalai story, that when Brahma and Vishnu wanted to find out this flame that is being available here, how deep it has gone down and how up it has gone up. So that flame, whatever, and of course you know that Brahmaji thought, why not, I'll go up. So it becomes easier. So Vishnu said, okay, no problem, I'll go down. So then, after going down, Vishnu came back and said, I could not find out the source. The deeper I was going, the more I started seeing it. So I could not see the end at all. Whereas Brahmaji was going up, but he managed. So what did he do? He said, yes, I have found. And not only that, this is called, we say, so when you tell a lie, you plan it. So you need witness. So Brahmaji bought a witness. So what was the witness? A flower called Ketaki. So you are prepared for everything, okay? That's why whenever you try, something wrong, so always you come with a prepared. However, let me not divert topic because I have decided not to divert, complete the text to the point. So here what he did, Brahmaji brought the Ketaki, came down, and of course the story goes that not only Brahmaji was cursed, also Ketaki flower has been cursed. That's why we don't use Ketaki flower for any purpose. Only once in a year that Ketaki flower is being used for worship, that is on Shivaratri day. Any other day we don't. Yes, we use that, that is called in the pan, that betel leaf. So that is being used for fragrance. So it's very nice, okay? Amazing. Other than that, nobody uses that flower at all. Also, incidentally, all of you know that the flowers that have no fragrance must not be used for puja. If any flower, please remember again and again, I am trying to say this point. If the flower does not have fragrance, must not be used for puja. And if you use for puja, that will be shoka karakam. So that will give you grief. I notice many people, in spite of doing puja and many other things, they don't get benefit because of the small things that they don't notice or they don't know, or even if they know, because of convenient. How? So this linga concept, that's why we come to this called bana linga, we use this word. Because without base, so it is like a flame. So that flame is to be dwelt upon in Anahata Chakra. This is the whole concept I would like to bring. That's why this religious practices, religious knowledge is most important aspect. Or else what will happen is, This will be just academical study, but nothing will enter. Then what will happen? He says, if that is the case, then of course with this nasagra drishti, keeping the eyes gazing at the tip of the nose, and of course the mind is dwelling upon this vanalinga that is in anahata chakra. Now what happens? Now the person starts seeing that anything and everything is Brahmaniti, Brahmamaya Bhavet iti. Continuing. Vidut Pravhecha Hrutpatme Pranayama Vibhedataha Nasagra Drishtiratmanam Dhyatva Brahmamayo Bhavet. So here also says very nicely, because a person, he who practices this, must be tuned with asana, pranayama, etc. Because if the asana, pranayama are not being taught, this is not going to work either. That's why we say that our vicharam denotes our acharam. The way of thinking, vicharam, determines our acharam, conduct, behavior. So we don't practice acharam, remember. Because the more I practice acharam, right time, I will do wrong things. That's why our true color gets exposed in right time, because we are lacking in vicharam. And again, the way of thinking called vicharam, which is backed up by the knowledge, supported by discriminative faculty, and strengthened by pranayama, etc., called lifestyle. And it is a package. And if we do not look at the package, and we want to just live our life the way we want, remember, it will be just a time pass. Yes, there is a big advantage that it's not one life, we have millions of life, okay? So, nothing to lose in this way. Continuing. Satatam ghantika madhye Vishuddhe Deepaka Prabhe Nasagra Dushtiratmanam Dhyatvanandamayo Bhavet. He says, look, after this Anahata Chakra comes Vishuddha Chakra. So again, Vishuddha Chakra, what you need to do? In Vishuddha Chakra, allowing that flame, in the beginning it was Aditya in Manipura. Then that Aditya becomes Vanalinga. And that Vanalinga, when it comes to Kantha, the throat region, here it becomes the flame of any lamp. That's why we maintain such a lamp. And moreover, when we maintain lamp, remember, there is a sanctity. Lamp is not a game, it's not a fashion, it is not a show off. Because when you maintain lamp with sanctity, you can see the energy is entirely different. I'll give you best example, especially in India or Indian context, anywhere in the world, all these Indian people, when they do any sort of program, including we have done, okay? So we lit a lamp. To be very honest, that lamp is just cultural practices, but it has no sanctity. That's why you can see how people put the shoe, the place, many factors are involved. That's why we make it very clear. In fact, the lamp should not be below than your sitting place. That's why by default, in programs, we put the lamp big, not visible, okay? People think, okay, bigger lamp, it will be visible to everybody. That's not the purpose. We make sure that lamp must be maintained with sanctity. Please understand. And that sanctity part only will protect you. Or else, definitely, lamp will give light, also will generate heat. Whereas when there is sanctity, you can see the difference. And moreover, that maintaining the lamp very carefully, one can see the benefit. Whereas, if I maintain the lamp without sanctity, remember, in my behavior also, it will be reflected, me without any sanctity. That's why, what is to be done? He says, when you maintain the lamp, see how the flame is. And you are constantly in connection with the flame. There are many aspects of lamp. We say the lamp flame is like life. Any moment it may go off. And once it goes off, in fact, what we do, we don't look at that lamp. Okay, you people reuse, that's different thing altogether. You not only reuse the lamp, the wig, also wig, and also what that called, oil, everything you reuse, okay? Good, nothing wrong in it. However, so spending some time with your throat, with your mainly Vishuddha Chakra, you will be able to discover, especially resolve all unwanted thoughts. Because unwanted thoughts generally affects your Vishuddha Chakra. And when there is issues, definitely it happens. And this can be taken care of that. Continuing. Bhruvor-antagatam devam Sanmanikya sikhopamam Nasagra dushtiratmanam Dhyatva nandamayo bhaved. So I think I have not given the text, if I am right. So if not, no problem. So here he says, look, now same lamp, same light goes up. So now you need to do what? So you need to dwell upon in between eyebrows. And because of this reason, now what happens? This misconception happens. These two verses are mainly very big misconception. You know, this Shakti path. So when people get initiated into Shakti path, what they do? They will press. I remember one Swamiji, very nicely. So he was narrating his story. Luckily, I have never seen in my life, personally. So the Swamiji was narrating his incident. So when he was doing Guru shopping as a young boy, and he in Maharashtra, in fact, he's from Maharashtra. Then he went to a big program where hundreds of people were, gathered for this Diksha. And that too Shakti path. There are different paths, this. This yoga, that yoga, all these things. So he went. Then after that initiation, there will be talk, experience. That is must. So did you see Brahman? Everybody was saying, yes. And he was young. He did not see anything. So he said, no, I didn't see it. They called him, oh, how come you did not see? That means there is something, some obstacle, will remove it. Come. So he was very happy to go to the dais. Young boy. And do you know what they did? The way they pressed, it was so painful. And he understood. If I don't say no, they are going to press further. And it is not only today painful, tomorrow or few days the pain will continue. It is better to say, do you know what? I saw. Then he said, not only I said I saw, I also explained few other points added. And everybody started clapping. Then after I came down, everybody started, oh, you are so good, you are elevated soul, you are so nice, you are blessed indeed. You understand the concept? Yes, I am not telling that it is not necessary or it is useless. Nothing is useless, remember. We say very carefully what? The broken timepiece, also useful twice in a day. So usefulness of a broken timepiece is important. So you need to see, because it gives correct time twice in a day. Is it necessary for you to keep or hanging on the wall unless it is related to some memory? However, here the verse very nicely says, so what you need to do, generally when you do this Agya Chakra Dhyanam, depends upon your purity, depends upon your elevation of prana, what we call as urdhva prana. Different types of color, of a flame will be visible. Sometimes it is bright, sometimes yellowish, sometimes smoky, sometimes blue. There are different colors will be visible. Remember, based on your elevation of prana. Especially when your body and mind are pure. For example, you have eaten anything and everything. You understand? Avaksham. And you know what is avaksham? I don't want to get into that mode, okay? Avaksham means that is not supposed to be eaten. Well, avaksham. Starting with non-veg. So non-veg is avaksham. It is not avaksham. Please understand. Especially when you are listening to Vedanta, okay? Or else, Vedanta and non-veg, it doesn't work. Yes, it may work with Buddhism, not here, okay? So, coming to the point, after eating avaksham, if you start meditating, you think, will it work? I remember there is a beautiful video clip that is available because after many years, for a small role, somebody got a national award for a small role. So, in that context, I can say, in that clip it comes, the fellow comes to, I think Delhi or Mumbai comes. I think Delhi comes, not Mumbai, Delhi. So, he lost everything, money, everything. So finally goes for joins with a political rally, gets 5 rupees those days. So hungry. So he wanted to have biryani. In 5 rupees, what biryani? So somebody is selling biryani. He got. I wanted a good leg piece. This is the beautiful concept. So what is that leg piece? He says, how come the leg is so thin? Then the fellow says, 5 rupees, can you think that big leg or what? Thick leg or what? Yeah. So as the money, so also the leg. And finally, after eating, when he wants to this is this concept, when he wants to clean his mouth, he starts hearing cow, cow, kawa, kawa. Karkara, okay? Crow. So crow sounds start coming. So he got shocked. Where from this crow sound start coming? It has never happened. Then of course the person says, hey, look, when you ate 5 rupees, you think that you will get some good food? This is a crow leg, okay? It's not any other leg. Joke apart. The food that you have has a big role in your life. Food cannot be consumed for the sake of tongue, nor even for the physical body. Because whenever food is being taken, the priority is mind. Like, eclipse went, I was watching many people here also. Nowadays people don't follow eclipse at all. Because minimum 12 hours actually we follow. 12 hours before you are not supposed to have any cooked food. Whatever you have to finish, 12 hours. After that, you can have dry food, not cooked food. Except, like children, sick people, pregnant women. There are some exceptions are available. And in fact, they are not allowed to have cooked food also that time. And especially after eclipse, you are supposed to clean the house, everything, take shower, and cook fresh food. Without cooking fresh food, I kept in the fridge, I reheat it, that is also fresh, thank you. You understand the concept? It is going to affect you. This Vedanta will not work at all. Any amount of yoga, Vedanta, Pranayama, nothing is going to work. So that's why we teach Vedanta to them, those who follow some basic lifestyle. I cannot say that 100% lifestyle, at least some basic lifestyle. And this basic lifestyle, why and how, I can tell you this thing, I'll stop it. I was talking to one Swamiji, very nice point he highlighted, which was really worth remembering, worth dwelling upon. That Aishwarya and Dharma are two separate things. Aishwarya means the prosperity will bring bhoga, enjoyment. But because it brings enjoyment, it does not mean that you will be able to celebrate your life. You can have all sort of aishwarya. You can do all sort of enjoyment, bhogam. But it does not mean you will be able to celebrate. Yes, other will celebrate your aishwarya. Can you see this point? The more prosperity you have, the more prosperous you are, others will enjoy your prosperity. Others will celebrate your prosperity. In all the way, power, position, everything. But you will not be able to celebrate. Only you will be able to celebrate when there is dharma. The more you have dharma, the more you celebrate your life. So if you are not able to celebrate your life, what does it mean? Means there is lacking in dharma. So dharma makes your life to celebrate. But unfortunately, we don't look for dharma, we always look for aishwarya. And more we run behind aishwarya, yes, we make others to celebrate. But what happens to us? That's why my job is to have dharma, to avoid with dharma. How? By karma. Doing what is to be done. So when I do karma, dharma is with me. When dharma is with me, I celebrate my life in spite of nothing. Whereas, if I don't abide with dharma, in spite of everything, I will not be able to celebrate. In fact, my life will be full of fear, with worries and anxieties. More of it we'll see tomorrow.